Welcome back, everyone. Well, today I am on another little kind of short overnight road trip by myself. I'm going up to my family's cabin up around Houghton Lake area, which is right in the middle of the lower peninsula of Michigan. It's about 11:30, quarter to 12, something like that. It's cloudy and overcast right now, and it was raining earlier, but tomorrow is supposed to be a really nice day. Now, I'm only spending the night there, so I'll be there all afternoon. I'm going to be staying in my camper on the property. We took the camper up last week after having the solar system repaired. And so yeah, the camper is gonna reside up there until probably until the fall sometime. We do have a couple of other trips planned, but they're all further north than the cabin. We do have a trip planned towards the end of August up in the upper peninsula of Michigan on the northern shore of Lake Michigan, a very beautiful area. Can't wait to see that. And then we might do a couple of other trips up around Lake Michigan, on the eastern side someplace. I'm not sure right now, but we'll probably do 2 or 3 more trips before the end of the season. So we'll probably leave it up there until October, and maybe do like a fall camp of some sort. So anyway, that's it. I'm just driving. I've got about another hour to go. So you can just recline your seat back, sit back, relax, enjoy the scenery, or take a nap, and I'll see you when we get close to the cabin. All right, everybody, just pulled up to the cabin. I'm just going to get things sorted, get the camper opened up, and get my gear and everything sorted for this evening, and then I'll bring you back. I'm not sure if my brother's going to want to be on camera or not, so we'll see. If he wants to, I might introduce you to him. If not, I won't, of course. Anyway, I'm going to go get my gear sorted, and I'll bring you back. Thanks for coming along. Outdoor shower. Back porch. facing the water. Here's the old boathouse. My brother built this quite a while ago. There's a jet ski in there, and it just slides down these tracks and goes into the water. And then there's a pulley system that pulls the jet ski back up and parks it in the boathouse. All right, folks, welcome back. It's about 5 o'clock or so now, maybe a little after 5. Haven't really done much today, just been kind of chilling out, hanging out with my brother, catching up on some things, just having some nice conversation. I did go into town to get a couple things, and I'm back now just sitting here. I'm getting ready to actually go down to sit on the back deck facing the water. But I just thought I'd sit here by the camper for a little bit. It's really beautiful. There's a big row of big, huge, beautiful pine trees there. It's very quiet here right now. It's a Wednesday afternoon, so there's no one else up around, you know, so it's just quiet. Nice to have some peace and quiet. And I've been writing in my journal and reading a little bit. I'm reading a book on my iPad and listening to some music, just relaxing. I am getting ready to have dinner soon. One of the things that I started to do at the beginning of this month of July was to try to eat dinner before 6 p.m. and then not have anything after that except water or something to drink, but no food after 6 p.m. So I have to prepare my evening meal before 6. This evening I'm having some new type of plant-based hamburgers that we found recently, that Abby found recently at Whole Foods. So we each had one the other day, and they're pretty good. And so I'm going to have one of those. Might have some salad to go with it or whatever. And then, you know, I'll probably sit by the fire with my brother this evening and catch up with him this evening and watch the fire and watch the sun go down and look at the water and have some nice conversation. Tracy called me in a panic. You called John? He came and took the boat key. Take his boat out. I said, Matthew never brought it back. Now we can't go out on the boat. I said, well, what does the ramp key have to do with it? We should probably just go and get hot. And, I don't know. Yeah, it's always a theme time to say. Good morning, everyone. Hope you slept well. It's about 8:30 in the morning right now. I slept really good. Had the windows wide open all night. It was a nice, cool night. I was very comfortable in my camping quilt, and I also had another blanket. Slept really good. And it's a beautiful morning. I got up early this morning about 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. was just starting to get light. Stepped outside for a little bit to see what it looked like. And right now the sun is out, clear blue sky above. I think it's supposed to be about 76 degrees today. It's going to be a really nice day. And I had a really nice time last night. My brother and his wife Jackie, we all sat out on the back deck together and burned that little fire can, little gas fire pit thing. It's really cool. And when we decided to call it a night, I walked back over to my camper, and the sky was just clear, full of thousands and thousands of stars like you'd never see in the city. You could actually see the Milky Way, the Northern Cross, Cassiopeia, just some constellations that I know. So I was kind of stargazing a little bit. I wish I could have filmed some of that, but the camera that I have doesn't allow for that. So anyway, I'm going to get the day started. I'm going to make some coffee, and then I'll wander around outside a little bit. I'll bring you back. Okay, my hot water for my coffee is ready. I'm trying out this coffee called Copper Cow Coffee, proudly women owned. So this is Vietnamese coffee. It's Vietnamese pour-over coffee, which I've never tried before. So it comes with one of these packets, and then there's a latte creamer that goes in it. So you rip this open, and then you're left with this little coffee filter thing, which you have to open up. And then these little cardboard flaps open up, and I think you just set your coffee in there like that. And you can just pour over your hot water. You can also squeeze this. I know this isn't the greatest cooking video of any sort. All right, I'm going to put the creamer in there. I'd imagine you could froth this with one of those little frother things, but I do not have one of those. All right. Okay, you guys. Let's see what this tastes like. Still pretty hot. That is the best cup of coffee in the world. Pretty strong compared to what I'm used to, but man, that tastes really good. All right, I'll bring you back. We're going to go outside and wander around a little bit while I sip on my coffee. Put the top on here so it stays warm and doesn't spill. All right, I'll bring you back once I go outside. Let's go outside right now and check it out and see what it's like out there. Ah, what an awesome morning. You know, even though I'm up at our family's cabin, which is right over here, and there's the road right there, this is an easy spot for us to park our camper. It's nice because there's woods, about maybe 60 or 80 feet of woods before the next house. And that house is owned by a good friend of mine, good friend of me and my brothers that we've known since we were in high school. But it is a good place that we can easily pull the camper in and out. And you know, there's all these trees here. Right behind you is another stand of beautiful pine trees, and then there's a big field behind that. But it's a nice space. I mean, the water is just over there. I do have area over here where I could actually set up a fire pit and sit out here and have a fire if I wanted to. And I can, you know, here you can see in the morning before the sun comes up over the trees, it's nice and shady. And this time of year, of course, when the sun is, you know, around noon, it's going to be totally sunny here, which is good to charge the solar charger, the solar panel. But probably by, you know, 2, 3 o'clock, it's shady again here because the sun is going down past these trees. So it's a good spot. Now there are a couple of other spots that we could set up at, and I'll show you some of the places that we've thought about setting up the camper, but it is a little problematic, and we'd actually be closer to another road that's just behind you over there, and closer to a house on that side of us. So okay, well, let's go for a little walk. It's just so I can show you the property. So we're walking out of the driveway now. So this is the road that we're on. That is the way home, and there's all these, this is all state land right here. And you can walk down this way. Let's get a look at the cabin from the road. So these trees right here are the other kind of row of pine trees. Now, we planted those trees years and years ago, and they're pretty good size now. So you can see that's a view that we have from our camper out this way, and then of course we have the view behind us with the woods. The only kind of view that is kind of weird is that, of course, the back window of the camper, you can see the shed or the garage, whatever you call it, and the cabin, but it's still kind of tucked in there pretty nicely. And then behind this row of trees, there's a big field. That's all our family's property as well. My mom and dad bought this whole piece of property. I don't know really technically how big it is, maybe an acre or so. But they bought this years and years ago, back in the early 70s, I think maybe 72 or something. You know, I'd have to check with my brother because he's the family historian. So you can see there's, you know, one of the things that would be nice is if we could back the camper in right here. But the problem is that there's this drainage pit. So I don't know if technically we could actually fill that in and make a drive here or not. But that would be one possibility here. And we go down this road. So this piece of property is a corner lot. This is the main road that we come into where our driveway is. And then there's this road that goes this way. This also goes down to the lake that we're on. So you can see that there's all these big pine trees that actually my grandfather planted shortly after my dad built the original cabin. Now I should point out that this cabin, I might do this in another video with my brother's help. This cabin has been totally rebuilt. Back in, I think it was 2000 or 2001, the original cabin, which stood where this newer piece with that red outcropping is, the whole right side of the cabin was added onto from the original cabin by my brother. He did all the construction himself, designed it and everything. And then shortly after that, we discovered that the older part of the cabin, the original part that my dad built with hammer and nails, was the foundation was sinking. So my brother and sister decided to have the original cabin torn down and rebuilt. So this is, you know, all relatively new now, but, you know, based on the original cabin. And there's a lot of original history from the cabin still that's been preserved here. Now my brother-in-law has planted some other small pine trees around here to let this all grow up. And, you know, so there's a field of wildflowers here. Nice little complex, I guess. And the property extends all the way to where this fence is right here. So you can see our property line is actually bordered by where this house has, you know, the fence line, which this fence we put up all the way down to the water. So all that property to the right of this house is my family's property. Our family's collection of kayaks and a couple canoes. We even have an old aluminum canoe that is really old. Right there, I obtained that from my ex-father-in-law. So we've had that up here for a long time. And then all these trees, this tree right here is a huge maple tree. I don't even know if I can show you the entirety of the tree. It is a huge old maple tree. My brother planted this from like a 4 or 5 foot seedling many years ago. And so we have a pretty nice border of trees, you know, all the way along the property line here. And then of course on this side is all my brother's property. This is, like I said, about 60 to 80 feet deep. And then on the other side of that is my me and my brother's friend, who we used to come up with a long time ago, and they ended up buying this piece of property here and split it. So my buddy owns the farther piece of the property, and he built a big, beautiful home himself there. That's his pontoon boat, and off in the distance there is a boathouse similar to my brother's here. John's boathouse is a little bit more elaborate. I don't know if you can see it really good. Maybe we can walk over there later and I'll show it to you in more detail. But this is the lake. This is just one small part of the lake. Off in the distance out there, there's kind of a tunnel, a culvert that goes out to the bigger side of the lake, and we'll walk down there a little bit later on and I'll show you the other side of the lake from the shore. And of course there are other cabins around and things like that, but you know, during the week it's really quiet here. I mean, even on the weekend it's not that bad, but during the week there's rarely anybody up here, so it's really beautiful. Fire pit right there, and again you can see the back deck. So this big part here was kind of the original cabin my dad built back in 1973 or something like that. I think it was 1973. Him and my mom took 2 weeks off of work and we all came up here. My dad built and framed the whole cabin, and then, you know, over the years he would come up here whenever they could and, you know, slowly built it up. But my dad did all this work by hand, hammered it every ham and nail. Of course, there were no nail guns back then. Then, like I said, back in, I think in 2000, my brother added on this part, which is still the original part that he built himself, to make an addition onto the cabin. We actually technically doubled the size. And then this side started to, you know, the foundation started to sink, and my brother and sister made a decision. They hired a company that to meticulously separate the two parts of the cabin, and they tore the original cabin down. My sister and me were up here when they tore that down, and then they hired somebody to rebuild the new part of the cabin, and of course they did most of the interior, all the drywalling and mudding and taping, electrical system, new pump, new septic field was all done then. So it's gotten to be quite a beautiful place to come. Okay folks, one last look at the lake here. You can see this lake is just a small part of the lake. Way back there, there's an old dam that you can actually kayak through. That is enough. I don't know if you can see it from here, but it's right out there. That's our cabin right there. Shadow Lake and our lake, and then we're standing right on top of a culvert that you can actually get a pontoon boat through, or a paddle boat or whatever, and it goes right underneath this road. The rest of the lake. So this lake is about a mile long, and there's a bunch of little, well, not a bunch, maybe 6 or so different little canals that you can go through too. Some of them have islands. It's really nice. And here, of course, you can see the culvert where that connects from one part of the lake to the other. And that's our lake. Beautiful lake. And what a beautiful day it is too. All right, my friends, see you on the road. All right, my friends, that's it for this little overnight trip up to my family's cabin. There's a lot that I didn't get a chance to film. Today I thought I would go out for a hike and drive around a little bit, but you know, it just felt so nice to just stay put around the cabin. Like I said earlier, I don't get a chance to spend much time there, hang out with my brother and sister-in-law, and just enjoy the beautiful weather. It was a gorgeous day today. I think right now is about the high temperature. It's about 76 degrees. It was mostly sunny all day. I just kind of hung around, wrote in my journal a little bit, listened to some music, did a little bit of cleaning and work on the camper, had a nice meal with my brother and sister-in-law. So that's it, and now I'm going to enjoy a nice quiet drive home. As you've seen in just the previous video clip, there's like almost nobody on the road. This is a great time to be driving home. Thursday, it's about 5 o'clock right now. So by the time I get more near the city, it'll be 7:30 or so. So I don't anticipate having any traffic. I anticipate just having a nice, relaxing drive home. All right, my friends, thank you for coming along on this one. Please, as always, feel free to comment, ask questions if you have a question. I'll do my best to answer them, and I always respond back to your comments. So thank you so much for joining. And again, as always, please do your best to try to be a good human being. Be kind and compassionate to others, and try to find ways to be useful to other people. I'll see you on the next one, my friends. Bye-bye.